Hey guys, so I'm just going to do a quick little show and tell video about my 3 Louis Vuitton Speedy 25s. There were a few things that I did not learn from videos when I was doing my own research before I bought my first one. So I want to share just a few of those things along with my thoughts about this bag. I'm not going to get into too many details. There's lots of boring details out there on other videos. So I'm really just going to talk about my opinion and again, just show my bags and give a few thoughts on them. So hopefully this will be helpful to someone else who is thinking about purchasing this bag. All right, so first up is my favorite of my 3 Speedies. This one is my favorite. It's the Speedy B in Damier Ebene. And this was actually the first one I purchased. It's my favorite one to carry and I absolutely love it. On this bag, I'm gonna hit the pros really quick. It's classic style. It is versatile. You can wear it as a shoulder bag, a handbag, a crossbody. It goes with everything and it's understated, which I love. The cons are, of course, being the 25, the opening is a little bit smaller and some say hard to get into. I don't find a problem with it. I have the insert organizer inside and my strap in here. This is another con, I guess. This strap is pretty stiff and initially it was a little uncomfortable, but actually I think I've gotten used to it, so it doesn't bother me anymore. But I absolutely love this bag, and this is definitely a forever bag, something I will keep always and probably get a lot of use out of. My biggest pet peeve with this bag that no one said in their videos, I mean, not one video said this, and I probably watched 10, is that everybody kept saying this carries a lot, and it does. It packs a lot, even though it's the smallest one. I think, well, I guess there's a BB or a mini. I forget. I know there's a smaller one. But this being the 25, I think the most popular is probably the 30, as I understand it, but this packs a lot. What no one said was it gets heavy really quickly. Just with a few items, this was heavy. And really that's, I think, what made the strap uncomfortable is it's kind of just digging into your shoulder, and man, I hate that. I really, really hate that. And it surprised me, and I just wish I knew before I bought it. I wish someone had said something, but let me just tell you now, this bag gets heavy quick and you don't have to put a lot in it before it's quite heavy. So that's something to think about if you're thinking about getting it without the bandouliere, which, you know, it is a $500 difference, which I think is pretty steep. But I think that it's worth it to get the strap, just because of the weight of how heavy this bag can get pretty quickly. I also have the Speedy B25 in the Monogram. This is, I guess, if I'm doing them in order, my second favorite. You know, one thing that bothers me is the way that it comes folded in these creases or folds. They don't go away. I mean, I've had this for at least like 8 months, and that is still on both sides. The other thing which may be difficult to show is one of these edges is longer. I don't know how to describe this, but one side is like longer than the other, so it's kind of just off balance. And yeah, you have to be scrutinizing it to see it, but I notice it and I don't like it. It wasn't enough to make me to return it, especially since there weren't a whole lot of these. When I went to buy mine, they were getting pretty scarce, so I went ahead and just stuck with it. But, you know, the cons with this guy is the untreated leather, or untreated vachetta. And so I have been scared really to just wear this. And every time I've thought about wearing it, the forecast has called for rain. So then I changed my mind. And so I'm not getting as much use out of it as I'd hoped. It's been raining a lot. And I hate that I have a bag that was at this price point that I like and want to carry, but have to worry about not carrying because of the fear of rain. So that's a con with this. Of course, the con of it being heavy quickly. I also got the insert for this guy. I think the insert for me is a must just to stay organized, and also for this bag to keep its shape, because not this one so much. I know that I've seen some get pretty slouchy. I think the 25 is the one that holds its shape best. So I like this bag, but I kind of am like not getting my money's worth just because of this untreated leather. So I don't know. Again, it's my second favorite. I'm glad I have it, but I'm just not sure this one's going to be for a forever bag. And last, and in this case least, because it's my least favorite, I do have the Damier Azur Speedy 25 without the bandouliere. I got this one pre-loved, and I think, if I remember correctly, the reason I got this pre-loved is because when I went to purchase it new, they were going to have to source it, and that was going to take up to, I want to say, 60 days. So when Louis Vuitton sources something, they don't know where it is, or I guess they don't have it readily available. You have to pay for it, obviously, when you're ready to purchase it, and then you have to give them 30 or 60 days to find the item for you, up to 30 or 60 days. I can't really remember, but I want to say it was at least 30 days. And at the time, I just didn't feel like waiting because I'm a pretty impatient person. So I found it pre-loved and I bought it. And I have to say, I regret that. It was a good price, so that is a positive thing. But one of the cons for this bag is it has a yellow tint, and I don't know if that's to be expected for an aged Damier Azur print. I've tried to do a little investigating about that. I haven't found much. Maybe I just haven't been looking in the right places, but it just has a bit of a yellowish tint, and I'm not sure if that comes across or not on camera. I have wiped it off with some baby wipes, and that did take off some of the dirt, but it still, to me, looks kind of yellowish. So that's con number one. And then number two, while I love the size of the 25 with the bandouliere, I think without the bandouliere, I would have preferred a 30. And unfortunately, I didn't know that when I bought this, because I had never had that size and just didn't know which one I would prefer until I got this. So yeah, without the bandouliere, I would prefer the 30. And I have looked, because I could, I was thinking about reselling this and getting a 30, but they're kind of hard to find. And the ones that I have found, they have they're just not in the best conditions. And a lot of those look yellowish too. So I don't know if that's just a feature of this print that over time it just becomes yellow. I'm just not sure. But again, this is my least favorite. I would probably recommend somebody getting the 30 if they're not going to get the bandouliere. But I am, I do think that this is really a great summer print. It goes well with grays and neutrals, and I love neutrals. So I like this bag, but it is definitely not my favorite. And I really, really just regret that I wasn't more patient and just should have waited for a new one, because it also is kind of wrinkly, which bothers me. Again, I don't know. I think that does come across in the video. Yeah, the canvas is wrinkly, but it'll do. I mean, this is a print that I probably would go to grab the least. I just wanted one piece in this print, and so I picked the Speedy just because it's classic. But I've seen some other bags that I'm thinking about maybe selling this and getting a different piece in this print. So in summary, the pros about this bag are it looks great. It's a classic style. I love that it's not a passing trend. This bag is going to be around for, I think ever. I think it's a forever bag if you can find which one works for you. They carry a lot, and I think that's true of all the sizes. I mean, if the 25 carries a lot, then that means, if you go up from there, it's going to carry all the things that you need. I do think you can dress these up to a certain extent. I tend to lean more toward casual or middle of the road outfits, not really like dressed up, but I do think they make casual, they give a little something to a casual look. They just elevate it in some way. And I love that. They're versatile, at least the ones with the straps are just the 3 different ways you can carry them. And I love a crossbody. I've said that and said that because it's just true. I just love a crossbody bag. And I do think that these are durable. I think they're going to last. You know, if you get one, I think it'll last a long time. Again, my only complaint is with the monogram, you get that untreated leather. And that has been, you know, I have not sprayed mine. I have not wiped mine with baby wipes. I've heard people say that. Honestly, I'm just scared to do it because once it's done, it's done. And if it doesn't work out for you, you're stuck with it. And I just don't want to deal with any mishaps. So I guess I'll just be waiting until there's a day where it's surely not going to rain, and then I will use this bag. If I had to recommend one of the 3, it would definitely be the Damier Ebene. It's just, you know, it's carefree. You don't have to worry about the vachetta because it's treated. You don't have to worry about color transfer or yellowing or rain. It's just everything, you know, you'd want in a bag and more. So this is the one that I love and would recommend and I wear the most and is probably going to get the most use. The one I like the least is the Damier Azur, as I shared. You know, I don't like the yellowing. I don't like the size without the band, without the strap. I would prefer the 30. I don't like the wrinkled canvas, but that's because I bought it pre-loved. So there's not a whole lot that can be done about that. But I do think it's going to go well with certain outfits. And, you know, I've already covered what I do and don't like about the monogram. You know, the only other thing that might be a con for some people is the zipper on the 25. The zipper opening is a little more restrictive. But, you know, that actually has not bothered me. The strap is stiff on the Damier Azur, and honestly, it's even stiff for the monogram. I think that this will soften over time once I get a chance to wear it. And maybe I'll figure out a way to treat it that's safe and that I, you know, feel comfortable with so I don't have to worry about it so much. But for the most part, I love the Speedy, just classic, and would recommend, again, the Damier Ebene in the Speedy B version. I hope that this has been helpful. You know, the one thing I really wanted to share is these get heavy very fast. And that was the thing that really bothered me when I first started to wear them is, wow, this is heavy. And so you just, even though it carries a lot, you can't pack it with a lot and be comfortable. So I have to be kind of a minimalist when I carry this bag, even though I could put more in it. I don't because it is so heavy. As a handheld, you may get away with carrying a little more in it if you're not going to be walking around for a long period of time. But again, that's, you know, a personal thing. Some people may find that they don't mind it being heavy. But I just wanted to share some thoughts and help someone out. So thanks for watching. Bye, guys.